From earthquakes to wildfires, Kern County's no stranger to emergencies, and those in the mountain communities know full well that dangers surround them. Tomorrow, residents in Tehachapi have a chance to get some safety tips from the city's police department and the Kern County Fire Department. And joining us to talk about that this morning is Key Budge with the City Police and Fire Department. Thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Oh, thank you for having us. Good morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, there has not been a whole lot of dangers affecting the mountain communities. Talk a little bit about why right now is the important time to stock up and be prepared.
Well, I'll tell you, September is National Emergency Preparedness Month.
Right.
So this is something that should be talked about. But for us here in Kern County, it's year-round. When, whether it's wildfire, we've got the floods and the earthquakes recently in Ridgecrest. So there's a lot of different things that could happen. And Thursday afternoon, we had the series of fires that were arson sets. So there's always a danger regardless of what time of year it is.
Absolutely. So you brought some things in front of us. Talk about what we have right here.
Well, one of our big goals is we ran a social media poll and asked people after the Ridgecrest event, had they talked to their family about having a plan if there was an emergency? More than 60% said no, they've never had that discussion.
Wow.
So it really hit home that we wanted to talk about having a 3-day kit, 72 hours. That is what the standard is to say that you should be able to take care of yourself. There's going to be a demand on public safety, both law enforcement and fire, to take care of immediate problems that are going on, whether it's a fire, there's injuries, whatever the incident is. So if you can take care of what's under your roof, your family, for 3 days, have a 3-day basic supply, that's the goal. Then services will be backed up with the mutual aid and other things that are in place. So if you can have a 3-day kit, and what I brought with the backpack is perfect to have in your car. So think about having a supply in your car. And then with this bucket, this is a 3-day supply of basic needs for a family of 4. And this is something you can put in your garage or your closet, but you can keep it out of the weather and things where it's a great storage.
Right.
But also thinking about having something for your car. When you have an emergency, you never know what time of day it is.
Right.
So if it happened right now, I'm here, my wife's at home, my son's off heading to school, so we're in 3 different locations. Have a communication plan, have readiness available.
Absolutely. So when you say 60% of people don't have a plan or haven't even talked about a plan, where would you recommend they start? Because it is a little bit overwhelming.
I would say FEMA.gov,
okay?
FEMA.gov has the great resources, and I provided some of your resources to your producer that give you the basic things to think about. But the first is the communication plan. Maybe our cell towers are down because it's such it's a close proximity of whatever the disaster is, and the cells towers are overused. Data goes down. You might have to contact someone out of the area because those circuits are open, so you can start that communication plan. And that's what you want to do, is really think about what are you going to do where you're at. The last time it was on July 4th, it was a holiday. People were, usually together, but you have to think about your surroundings.
Absolutely. All right, so this is taking place tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at the Tehachapi Police Department. There will be a couple of presentations going on there. And will there be anything new for people who have been to this before, maybe after experience from the Ridgecrest earthquakes?
Well, for one, we're going to have Chief Kent Krager and Captain Brian Gaddis from the fire department. And both have extensive backgrounds in disaster relief. And Captain Gaddis is from the USAR, the Urban Search and Rescue. So he's been around the country to like the Katrina incident and others. So he brings a wealth of experience and knowledge. So it'll be a great time for question and answer. And then we'll talk about CERT, the Community Emergency Response Team training. It's a fire department program, and it's one of those that you give you some basic understanding, opens your eyes to things to think about. So there'll be a lot of great information, and hopefully will be well attended.
Awesome. Key, thanks so much for joining us this morning. So that is tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. at the Tehachapi Police and Fire Departments. Let's send it over to Mike now with more news.